And we're live.
So yeah. Hey,
Wait, I
how's
got
it
to do
going,
my
everyone?
entrance. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hey, no.
Hey. So yeah. Hey everyone, how you doing? Hope everyone's having a great day. Yeah, this was put together like I think less than 24 hours notice. So we just slapped this together. We're popping in here for one final episode for the end of the year. We're just going to talk about our favorite 118 scale. Um,
Dollies.
Kind of, it's not like it's not best toy really. I know I put that in the thumbnail, but because it's like, who's to say what's best, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
Conan
great.
knows what's best in life, but do we really know? We just know what our favorite is. And um we could also, anyone in the chat wants to add their favorites. What's your favorite 118 scale finds? Because for some people, it's not new product, it's not new release stuff, it's stuff that, for me, a lot of my stuff's vintage stuff that I picked up, like that
I
sweet
actually
APC
just
back there.
finished my Palatoy Z Force headquarters command center that's based on the 83 from
Yes.
Hasbro. I just finished that today thanks to Carol O'Connor. So
Oh, awesome. And
that's not new, right? But I'm all
yeah,
about that. So
that's beautiful. Like when I saw it in person at Joe Fest, obviously the price tag was way too much for me at the time. But it's a waiting game. If I could just bide my time, I'll find one for the right price, which is how I got an OG Robo Skull, an ATC, the Panther,
Mhm.
just about everything I got. I just waited, and you just wait for a good opportunity, and it will come.
well, and that's
Because
that's what it should be. It's not supposed to be a sprint. It is a marathon. Like I
No, totally.
never even really wanted a Defiant until one time Scuba Pete's like, "Well, I got two. You want the other one?" And I was, yeah.
yeah, 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 that opportunity. So
And then you get that bro hookup price. So
yeah. So
Mm.
you know what? Because I'm such a good host, let me talk about myself first. So I'll go with all of my favorites, and then you guys sit here and just listen to me. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I'd like to hear from you guys
tell
first.
us a story, Will.
Well, what are some of the favorite things you guys got this year? Or your 118? Chad, why don't you go first? What do you got? What's your favorite?
It's probably going to be a shotgun approach. Honestly, I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be like these are
Yeah,
mine
I don't
and
think
that's it. 10 commandments.
Uh-huh.
In all honesty, I've gotten. This isn't a weird flex, but I've gotten so much stuff this year that like I would forget a lot of it. I did get a complete Night Scrambler, which is the Night Force APC, with the
Nice.
steering wheel and the seatbelts from Justice
That's
Curry,
amazing.
also known as real name Justin Carey. I didn't do my homework, dude.
No, that's all right.
Obviously the Skeletron Roboskull Mark II.
Yeah, I was gonna say your
Yeah.
video on that was excellent. Watching
Thank
you
you.
put that together, I should have watched it before I put mine together, but I
Stupid
didn't.
wing.
Yeah, yeah, stupid wing. I put a wing on backwards and upside down. Yeah, but
It's
I watched it afterwards.
the
But
the weight
it's
sucked,
fantastic.
right? And as the
Yeah,
wait got
yeah.
longer and longer, and then after the Marauder Gunrunner fiasco with the non-Kickstarter, that's when I was really starting to like,
Mm.
don't you dare. And they didn't, which is cool. Come back to me.
Okay.
We'll come back around.
Well, yeah, we could go around
We'll
too.
come
We
back.
don't have to. You don't have to just unload all your stuff. You could go with one or
Well,
two.
I will say, it's 118 to me because I made it 118, but Jeff W hooked me up with a
I know what you're gonna
classified
say.
HasLab Hiss for my birthday
Yeah.
/ retirement, and I made that sucker true 118 scale. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that mega hiss is actually really great, and that whole concept was kind of the same thing that RoboSkull did with the removable seats. You
and
could
that was
change
all
the
Viper
cockpit,
Scout, yeah.
yeah, and change
Yep.
the size.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yep.
what about you, Bob? What do you got?
Well, of course, Robo Skull Mark II. We'll just get that on out of the way.
You got yours. Yeah, I guess we should
Yeah.
all just get that off our
You know,
Just
just that one
check.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Delta 17. It's a good one. That whole line.
that's one of my
Loved
top toys for the year.
Love
Sure.
those. The Black Jet from Devil's Bargain Toys, the Joe Fest exclusive, was a cool figure,
Oh,
along with Necromancer.
that's a fun figure. Yeah, I got him right
Yes,
there.
he
Yeah,
is.
very cool. Yeah, yeah,
Goes
he's
great with
fun.
that Bullet Man.
Yeah, fun guy. Yeah.
Like I said, Necromancer was a good one. That Batwing from Spin Master, the 89, and
Yeah.
then and of course, Keaton Batman, looking
Yep.
really, really sharp. Like for a discount toy line, like the sculpt and
I will
paint apps on
say,
that were like
yeah,
sharp.
that reminds me. I don't have pictures of it, but I jumping the scales. But Spin Master's jumping up to 5 inch, and they're doing like an homage to Batman Forever, like with that Batmobile
Yeah,
and some of
yeah,
the
I saw
figures. But
those.
they're also like they went back, and I don't know why, but it
Yeah,
looks like they went 5 inch and 5 POA, which I was like,
yeah. I
if they
may
had
get
just
that
put that
Batmobile, but
styling to
yeah.
the Batmobile looks neat. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I might pick that up just for the Batmobile collection, but
Yeah, but the figures
uh,
I'll probably pass
yeah.
on
But I
because
mean,
like
I
I
will
got
say with that Robo Skull, man, oof,
them.
my biggest thing was I totally underestimated how big this sucker was.
Oh yeah, it's
And I
like
know
almost
I
as big as
saw it
my
at
head.
Joe Fest. I saw it on the table, but you're in a huge thing and you couldn't pick it up and hold it. Also, I don't know if you guys know this, but RoboSkull does demand a blood sacrifice. When you touch the back wings, it will prick you, and that's totally normal. No, I picked it up and I like cut myself immediately, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Yeah, it's probably built in that way. That they're just trying to get a small blood sacrifice for this unholy creation."
Well, it is a
Um,
blood red skull that flies. I mean, what do
it's
you
sick,
expect?
man. So I did buy the flight stand, but it does not fit anywhere on here with the flight stand.
Uh-oh.
I could go up top, but
Mine
then
on the
it's like,
flight stand is almost as tall as my 79 Death Star. I mean, granted,
yeah,
I put the tall stand on it. Yes, I know.
sure, I did too. And then I haven't like wrestled, tried to take it out. So maybe if I do the short stand, I can make something happen. But
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't have much time. But man, is that thing well worth the wait? I
Oh
know it
yeah.
was a long wait, but it's cool. But here's what I want to ask you. Chad knows the answer to this.
No,
Probably.
okay.
Yeah.
No,
Never go full classified. Anyway, what? I'm
I
sorry.
love the new one, but there's just something about that old one that just has a charm to me that cannot be replaced. And I'm not saying that it's definitely like the kind of evolution of it, which I really love. I would hate it if they had just reproduced the old one in a new package, but that old one, man, just that bass
Yeah.
reminds me of those. Remember those clapping monkeys
Yeah.
toys?
Yeah.
My dad had one, like, and it was like old and like the stuff was peeling off, and it was just like this like sinister looking monkey skull. It used to freak me out when I was a kid. He had it like up on a shelf in his garage.
Right.
That skull, like I'm convinced Bob Reekin took that skull, that monkey skull,
Yeah.
and
The
designed the
symbol
Robo
monkey.
skull around it. Yeah, symbol monkey. You know, so just looking at it gives me like the creeps, but I also love it. Like it's like one of those things that scares you, but you like it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I like Skeletron's RoboSkull Mark II. I mean, obviously they called it Mark II for a reason because it's
Mm.
Yeah,
taking that whole nightmare TIE fighter concept and bringing it forward. It has a noticeable helmet on and so on and so forth. The only thing that I didn't really like about it from a standpoint of if it's robust or not, those
yeah,
those little ends on the wings that you can fold in or out. When you
hmm
stand the Robo Skull on that, it doesn't like to stand, on the wings. So the whole idea of having a vertical takeoff landing, like the original has the engines on the ends of the wings because it stands on the engines. That new one,
I hear you. I
I
hear you on
like
that.
it, but when you stand it on there, like you see those little wingtips, they don't like it. It's a heavy toy. And it reminds
Yeah,
me a lot
and
of the Defiant because the Defiant just buckles under its own weight, and that thing does not like to stand on those tips of the wings because you're talking like very, very small, 4 very small points, that this 6-pound toy is just standing on.
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of so I didn't have a place to put it because I had like cleared that shelf off and it didn't fit. So
Right.
I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like running around with my Robo Skull, like, where can I put it? I was
Yeah.
afraid to set it anywhere because I'm like, someone's gonna pick it up, and so I got it in the configuration where I turned the wings forward. That's where I felt more comfortable. I didn't like the way it was standing that way too, and I think that maybe is just a minor, kind of thing. But I think a lot of people are having that problem too,
Yeah, and it is a
especially since,
creative liberty, but it
yeah,
just from a
especially
standpoint of
since,
I display my toys, it doesn't like it.
yeah. Did you open up yours, Bob? You did?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
There
saw
wasn't room to
pictures
put
of
it
it.
on the
Yeah.
shelves here, but yeah, no, it's actually
It's
sitting on
staring
the
at you right
coffee
now. Is
table.
it telling?
Yeah, actually it is. It's sitting
It's
on the
telling you.
coffee table across the room,
Yeah.
looking at me like,
Uh, Gojitron bringing up this point. Yeah, those acrylic wings are not load bearing, and also, yeah, Chad and Gojitron both did awesome reviews, setting that thing up and explaining that the history of it. So if you want to make a decision on whether or not you want to buy it, because that's a good thing too, is that they do have some available right now for sale. So it's
And they're
not like
shipping
a
them
thing where
fast.
yep. I saw someone posted that they ordered it 2 days ago. They
Yeah,
got
I
theirs
got it
already.
today. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that as well.
crazy. Yeah. So
I think they're
and
shipping them like
Michael's here.
real.
How you
Oh,
doing? Sorry guys. I've been out of it for a while. I don't know how to do this anymore. So yeah. Hi to everyone. I apologize. Um,
Hello.
but yeah, thanks Bjorn. He put links there for
Somebody,
those
something,
videos there.
something,
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got a couple just slides of my favorites. There's of course Robo Skull, and I just wanted people to see everything they got. I was pleased that the 1/18 scale 2-seater cockpit is the default one. And then it
Yeah, and
says,
I had to rub that, like, as soon as I
yeah,
opened it, I had to make it a point to be like, "Oh, the Lord
yeah,
scale seats." Yep.
because it says on the box, and I do want to talk about that as well. I know everyone's already like, maybe people might be sick of hearing about this already, but man, does everything feel really like
High quality.
premium? It's just high quality, man.
Yeah.
Even that outer shipping carton. Oh, I came home from work and it was pouring rain. And guess what's sitting right in front of my front door? Fucking RoboSkull, that outer shipper box, and it's soaked, and I'm like just devastated. I open it up and this thing's wrapped in this thick bag, and I'm like, oh, RoboSkull guys, you guys are the best.
Yeah.
But it does
well,
say 1/12 scale compatible. That's what I liked about it. It's also compatible with that horrible 1/12 scale.
It's
So
also compatible with your non-world building scale.
no,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but I do
Yeah.
love that. And I'd say comes with a ton of stuff. I think it's a great value. They
mhm.
added a bunch of things. Some of my favorite things is one that it does bridge multiple scales. So they
Yep.
really did hit it. And this also bridges multiple genres. So it works with your like GI Joe military kind of tech stuff. You could attack a Death Star with this. Chad, I don't recommend you do attack a Death Star with this.
Oh, I was just gonna go do that
Please,
right now. Okay, so
Oh
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
don't,
this thing would
don't
take
go
out
ahead,
the
go
Death Star
ahead.
for sure.
But you could. It could go right in there with Star Wars. It could fit right in there with pretty much anything. It's wacky.
Mhm.
That's my little setup there, just so if anyone could see. That's just how I have it
Love
set up
the
for right now.
love the
Um,
drone crawling out of the eye there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
fun.
took a while to get right, but because it kept falling out. But I noticed Chad said the same thing, and I kind of agree with you. I'm not really too into the blast effects. I think they're cool, but they're not my favorite. So I kind of like storing it like this.
I
I would put the
repurposed half
machine
of them.
guns. Yeah.
So, if you own a USS Flag, those blast effects, if you take out one of the missiles, they slide perfectly in there, so it looks like I have one of the missiles blasting out of my flag now. And then the
That's
other
great.
one fit perfectly in the thunderclap.
There you go. Yeah,
So
I'm glad they
yeah,
included them. I'll take it, you know.
yeah.
And in my headcanon of obviously Dark Shadows and Red Shadows, they've joined forces. They
Of
found this
course.
old tech from back in the day, Wild Weasel here. You know, he's like, all good. They've helped, you know, format this new Mark II, and everyone's gonna have a hard time fighting this thing. But you guys are all fools because you backed the Robo Skull. And this is where this is going to get controversial, people. You guys backed the Robo Skull when all along there was a much cheaper and better alternative. And that is the Dino Copter. You suckers. I got this thing
Oh,
for less than $10. The
Wow.
Dino Copter. Listen here, you sons of bitches. All right. The Dino Copter has light sounds and kind of fits a 1/18 scale figure if you really try.
Yeah. Oh boy, look at it go.
yeah. Now, doesn't this one
Come on,
like shoot
guys.
out some like mist too or something?
So in the photo you could see I didn't want to put water in it because you gotta fill the fucking thing with
Yeah.
water. So I didn't want to do that because then it drips all over you. Um, that was less than $10. Robo Skull, Schmobile Skull. As long as Dinocopter, guys. Dinocopter comes in 3 different colors.
You're
All
living
right.
in the future.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, we got some new people came in here. Retro Tinker, World Made of Cardboard, Zaymot Rogue, sounds Daredevil Dave, how are you? Uh, yep, and Gojitron. You know what? Yeah, I could flex. Sometimes I can. I know. I know Chad's got, you know, several USS flags and the Defiant
I don't
and
have
you know,
several flags.
he's, he name drops all these great toys, but some
On
people
that
have the
double
Dino
decker
Copter.
Terradrome.
It was applicable to the conversation. Is it?
Yes, of course it was. I know. Just messing.
Yeah.
Outer Multiverse. Brian will be on Multiverse's channel Into the Toy Box at 7 p.m. tonight. So yeah, stop by and see us. That'll be fun. But yeah, Delta 17, great. This is right up my alley. You know, I know Bob, you mentioned it, and Chad.
Oh
I
yeah.
think you got one of their exclusives. I know you guys are more into the modern construction 3 3/4 inch or 4 inch figures. And
And I
I'm
still
just
have a
an
soft
I'm a
spot for O-ring because I
yeah,
grew up with O-ring from like the late '70s till into the '90s. So
I'm an O-ring diehard. I love these little suckers. I can't, you know, I can't get enough of them. You know, I just love them. They're my favorite.
mhm.
So this year has been great for me. It's been like the best
Oh yeah.
O-ring year in a very long time, you know, with offerings coming from all over the place. So Delta 17 was just a lot of fun to play with. You know, even if you don't go with the exact lore, they have a fit and feel that is very similar to your, you know, old GI Joes.
Hmm.
Almost like the next iteration. Some of these guys could be like the next generation of GI Joe, in my opinion. You know, and they're just a lot of
Yeah, kind of
fun.
like if they hadn't started veering off into the neon colors and stuff, this
Whoa,
could have
whoa,
been.
whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa.
not dissing on the neons. They've
Yeah,
got their
I know
place.
Chad's a modern collector. Uh, I don't know. Did you guys get into the Ghostbusters or
No.
no? Those were good
I did
O-rings. I
not.
thought
I
those
was
were.
tempted.
Yeah, that was another one that was real fun for me. I thought these were great. I've had that,
Mhm.
but once again,
They didn't
O-rings
skimp
my
on those
jam.
sculpts.
No, they're really good, and
Yeah.
it really does raise some questions though, because they offered these for like $40 for 4 O-ring figures, but
Yeah.
meanwhile
Yeah.
they did the GI Joe
Mhm.
2 Cobra 2 packs for like 45, and you know it just seems weird that
Yeah.
they're able to offer that. But whoever sculpted those Ghostbusters figures did a fantastic job. Whoever works at I don't know if they put credit to that, but you
It's
know,
just proof that Hasbro can do high quality, relatively inexpensive, reasonably priced figures if they want to.
yeah, for sure. And just so you guys know, just a shameless plug here. One of my favorite things too was at Joe Fest. I got to join the guys at the booth and help them with their kind of product launch, and that's just through my friendship with Ken and Steve and everything. And that was real fun to be a part of that. And they're doing this holiday sale where you get an additional 20% off. So if you guys haven't tried them out and you're into O-rings, I'm sure everyone associated with this channel knows this. You could go there and save 20%. Delta 17. This
What's
was one of
funny?
my favorites.
I went and got that. That's what I turned my
Yes.
camera off for. Do you know why? Do you know why this is one of my favorite pickups, stores, whatever for this year? You know why? You know why?
I
You
don't
know.
know. You're a big Cup fan, right? You like cups.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the fact that when I leaked this
Yes.
over a year ago, remember all the flack that I got for that? Yeah. So every time I look at it, I'm like,
yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, I was going to say pleasantly surprised. And the Thunder Machine would be my favorite of these collabs, but this is the second. That Thunder Machine just rocks. I just thought it came out great.
The Thunder Machine is great, yes.
Yeah.
But everything has a purpose. All the weapons store in the back. The way they have Cup's forearms is like the shocks.
Yes.
This thing is perfect. And that's a bold statement, but I think it's perfect. It takes the original Triple T, which, let's all be honest, that thing's a hollow shell with a couple of barbell rollers. It makes it heavier. It gives it more weight. It's phenomenal. Now, granted, with the whole Joe Transformer crossover thing, or Transformer Joe collaborative, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
The bot mode just has to be a kinda sorta, as long as certain aspects like Soundwave, you get the cassette player and you get the head. It's Soundwave, but other than that, it looks nothing like Soundwave.
No.
So they have some wiggle room, but they're
I would say
obviously mine.
They get
Soundwave sitting right there.
They all get like a 10 out of 10 for their vehicle modes because they really did a good job going like 1-for-1 on the vehicles. And then the
that's
robot
where
modes
it has to count. Yeah. I think the thing that a lot of people
JLS.
Yeah. I think
and Zakanin.
Yep. What's up, Zakanin? What a lot of people miss with the Transformer Joe crossovers is that bot mode is whatever, like we just talked about. It's in the alt mode, the vehicle mode, where they have to interact with 1/18 scale Joes. That's the bottom line of it. So yeah, there's stuff coming next year, but whatever. We're not talking about next year.
Can't wait. I think it'll be fun. But I didn't think Soundwave was part of this year. I thought it was 23, right? It was the end of 23.
So. It's 23.
Yeah. Anyway, pretty cool. Even though they kind of photoshopped this picture a little too big. Because
a little bit.
Just a little bit. There he is. Like Sarge is up to almost his upper.
Yeah, well, they're easily past the knee ratchets.
Easily past that. Anyway, Bob Mode, I love Cup. Yeah, he came out great. I just liked it. One of my favorites of the year, and one that I didn't think I was going to love as much as I did. I think the Leatherneck and Sarge figures are awesome. Like I was definitely going to get them, but this is the Batman Bob you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a great Batwing under $20. I mean, you can't beat it. It comes with an articulated Batman figure. If you're into Batwing, I tried to go out there with the moon, and
I will get that shot.
I taped it to a stick, and I was trying to get like a photo of it in front of the moon to reenact the scene from the movie, but that wasn't happening for me.
No, I'm sorry. But yeah, the sculpting on this, like I said before, sculpting and granted, there's not a lot of paint apps, but the ones they did are spot on. So
Yeah, it's not like, and there's not a ton of features like the original one where you had the trigger and it shot the suction cup darts, or
Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
the claw that grabs people in the front. Though was a no brainer. I would have loved to see that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
When he
I can
takes
live
it with his
without the
blade.
action features,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just
So we talked about favorite toys, and I know I just want to mention Starboy Station here because even though it's technically not a produced toy, this one means so much more to me than all of these other toys, and that is from Starboy Station. He made this and sent it to me, and that's this diorama garage. Um, and it's
Cool.
just so awesome. And I have it back here. Even with all these other toys, every time I go back to this sucker, last year I was saying I wanted to do like a world building thing and kind of make my own little spaceport and have fun with that. And he offered to kick it off and send that to me, which is like, I don't know if I've like really expressed my gratitude to him. I have an awesome, and I can't show it. It's a custom ship I've been working on since he sent this to me that I want to send back to him for his little thing. But look at that, man. That's he built it with the lighting. He really This is more fun than any playset that I have that's produced by Hasbro. Uh, you know, I've had all my vehicles tuned up in this garage, even my Exo
Oh,
Squad
yep.
set here.
nice.
Yeah, they work on anything, all makes and models, people. Uh, all galaxies. Even my little chatmate thing that Chad sent me. Look at that. That got fixed
Nice.
up in there too.
Nice.
So yeah, this made my year. This is just fantastic. And I'd love to be able to one, create its equal someday or something even comparable to it. Um, and and reciprocate that or share the love. So this is not the only community driven thing that we've seen that I'd say is like my favorite. The other one comes from Mr. Hillbilly Harper over here, and that's Steve from Delta 17. Uh, at Joe Fest, he gifted me this nice custom bat. It's an Inferno bat, he told me, and yeah, I love it. I just love that he made it and he handed it over to me. Just about anything on the shelf, I would consider selling to someone, but never this or this Inferno bat. Because someone made it for me, so it's like
Yeah.
just great.
Says
I
metallic
was
paint.
able,
All right.
yeah. There's some just close-ups of some of the SAS and yeah, that Palatoy stuff was the final frontier for me. Um, and I was able to pick that up at Joe Fest. Fantastic. That's my Necromancer. These are my Joe
Mhm.
Fest exclusive figures fighting it out. Um, the
Calm
ATC
down
is
with that
such a
arm there. Ugh.
oh well yeah that's just how Jesus Christ. Also at Joe Fest, if you missed it, this guy Christopher George who makes these wicked cardboard creations. He made that giant mothership. And I
Oh,
just happened to run into him by the loading dock, and he was unwrapping it, and we carried that sucker all the way up to. It's a lot lighter than it looks, but yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So that was great to see that. And then the last thing I just wanted to mention, toy wise, for me is World Made of Cardboard. Um, and this year, he just put this out, and I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. But here's another 1/18 scale vehicle, the M Track that he offered free plans. You could download this, print it out on some card stock, and then within an afternoon, build one of these for yourself. It's totally awesome. He designs these, he issues them. He's got the Starfighter that I've been raving about all year.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite things to make throughout the year. It's very very cool, and I probably didn't make it as well as I could have, but yeah, you could build a starfighter. I've also built. Oh, that's my dash Rendar
Aw.
inside there.
Dash Rendor.
He doesn't get much love. He doesn't get all the love. So you could also build a
I do.
command center. This is a modular command center for all
Cool.
3 3/4 inch figures. I made the alien one. The only ones I haven't built yet are the command center and the new M-Track vehicle. So I will be building them soon. But hey guys, you have some time over the Christmas holiday. Go over to World Made of Cardboard, print up those plans, and have some fun. Build something on Christmas Day. Make something for yourself.
Do something with
Drew,
your
how's it going,
hands.
bro?
Mhm.
Yeah, do a little something with your hands. Work a little. You don't have to buy
Analog, even.
all these toys. Yeah, you have some fun. So yeah.
Yeah. I grabbed a few more
Awesome.
items.
Oh, I'd love to see what you got.
Okay.
Okay, so I picked this up this year. I did a video on it, whatever, because I just went down the rabbit hole. But I got a message from one of the employees who's also, he's a big supporter of my channel and stuff. And he said, "Hey, what do you know about 1/18 scale fighting Yank?" Or he's like, "What do you know about fighting Yank?" And I'm like, "Well, I know a lot about fighting Yank." And he's like, "What about 1/18 scale fighting Yank?" And I was like, "There's no such thing." And then he sends me a picture, and I'm like, "Holy crap, that's 1/18 scale fighting Yank." And
Cool.
so I went down the rabbit hole of this freaking motorized C-clip, pull it back and it goes motorcycle. And
Yes. Yeah.
this thing was fun. It was
Yep.
just, it
I
was
love that
fun to
video.
pick it up. It was fun to learn about it.
Mhm.
We all kind of pride ourselves on like, oh, I know a ton about stuff, because I like stuff. And then when you come across something that just stumps you. So that was really fun. It was really fun to learn about that. Speaking of all these new indie, toy line O-ring figures. So Delta 17, right? If I had a nickel for every time I heard Delta 17, but Strike Force Alpha, Matt
Yes.
LaCroix, right?
Yes.
Did you know that Matt made me into Strike Force Alpha?
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome. And I apologize for not mentioning it because I
That's,
do kind of put those two hand in hand.
that's a
Your
Strike
Strike
Force
Force
Alpha
Alpha.
me right there,
Yeah.
courtesy of
Nice.
Mr. LaCroix.
Is
So
awesome. And I love their pop and swap technology there
yeah,
in their
yeah.
figures. That's awesome. And where's my favorite guy? Canstruck, the guy with 4 arms. My favorite
Oh,
figure.
yeah.
I know he's totally wacky, but I also like the where's my other guy? Yeah. Anyway, I always have him over here. He's my shelf buddy, but I can't find him right now. He is the
Maybe he's out on a date or something.
well. I got him from Matt at Joe Fest. He's the Death Troop. What's it? It's not Strike Force Alpha. It's Death. Death. Shit, what's his name? Death Troop Omega. I screw it up all the time, but I love him. He's great. Um, I have the package for you. All right, I suck at this. I don't know. That's his cloak.
You just gotta get back into
Remember?
That's
practice.
some awesome derailment right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, crud. Where did I put him? It's Death Force Omega. Yeah, not Strike Force Alpha. But anyway,
Oh,
he's
I
awesome.
like Goji's comment here about the construct. Totally
Antron,
agree about the
yes.
Antron. Yeah, it
Yes.
kind of looks like if
Oh,
Antron and Repto had a love child,
mhm.
that
Chad
would be
has
him.
thigh gap. Nice people here.
Here's a non-thigh gap, Chad, if we're done. So Mikey Kukovic, JMK Custom Works, made that
Ooh,
of me, like down to
we
the
got
tattoos on my arms.
and
So
Chad.
yeah.
Not that I mean, you've got the two 1/18 scale kind of formats taken care of here. You've got great likenesses of yourself. Um, isn't there a 6-inch figure
There is, yeah.
with your likeness coming
Mhm.
around the bend?
It's in
Or
my
has it
game
come?
room, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And other than that, um,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
I was gonna say I was gonna expect you guys to talk about that because
Yeah.
your Eagle
Yeah.
yeah, the
Force,
Eagle
right?
Force that came out this year.
Those
Did you get any of the gold suit guys or just the red shadows?
Oh yeah. Matt's not Megaforce, guys.
Hmm.
Yeah, not Commander Hunter.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Yes.
I got them all.
Yes.
nice.
Yeah. So those
Mhm.
are great. And that's,
So
you
that's
know,
probably my favorite indie line right now. Is just the whole
obviously,
Eagle Force wave, or not wave, but like the whole series. But that's just me.
I yeah.
they're fun figures, right?
Hmm.
You
They're
had a good
they're
time.
fun figures, and I've been collecting Eagle
Yeah.
Force for years. Not only because Matt does the paint masters of most of them. Matt's a friend. Matt's highly talented. Plus, once you start going down the rabbit hole of like Hasbro lost Topside, so now Fresh Monkey Fiction makes Topside for Eagle Force, and it is legit a modern construction version of the real American Hero Topside. But Bill and I got beef, so
Mm.
it sucks. Yeah,
Yeah. I got
I
you.
still like the dollies, but yeah, I'm not gonna go shouting Fresh Monkey Fiction's praise from the rooftops right now.
They had me in their
um,
line solid once they did those hidden figures, especially when they did the other colors. Just that
oh
whole
yeah, yeah,
Knox
yeah.
reference was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sold. You got me.
Oh, yeah, I have been for a long time, and I don't care, what the collaborations are, if it's the Bullet Man, if it's the freaking Dread Trooper or whatever. Like they're they're doing the best modern construction 1/18 scale 4-inch stuff. Period,
Mhm.
hands down. Um,
Yeah.
Marauders, they burned a lot of people, and you know, it,
Yeah. Bjorn swears by them. That's
it's
definitely his
it
favorite.
it's a good year.
Mhm.
2024 was a great year, especially for the Lord scale, because
Mhm.
Well, that's
there's
what I was
only
going to
one
say.
company that you could argue turn their back on 1/18 scale, but did they
Mhm.
really? Because they've still been putting out 1/18
Mhm.
scale stuff. There's more 1/18 offerings now than
Oh
there
yeah.
ever has been. And so people like to say, "Oh, that's a dead scale." That's shut up. It is not at all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I asked Bob before you came in. I was gonna say there is definitely more 1/18 scale offerings now than
Way
there
more.
ever has been.
Way more.
And I know
Yeah.
that Hasbro, when it was in its heyday, at its prime, it was producing a lot more of each figure. So like some of those figures were in the hundreds of thousands per figure,
Oh,
right? Per character.
millions. The freaking
Millions per
Snow
character.
Serpent, Battle Android
Yeah.
Troopers, like Cobra Viper, millions. They were selling millions.
So
But that's not just the scale. Look at Classified. They only make like some figures they'll make 5,000. Some they'll maybe make 10,000. They're not making, you know,
yeah.
double digit
So there's a lot
thousands, no.
a lot
No,
to
no.
Mhm.
offer. And so much that I would argue, I would say there's not many people out there who would buy everything 1/18 scale. There's no way you could collect it all. Especially when you add in like the chicken fried toys, the Fortnite stuff. Someone mentioned it in the chat.
Mhm.
I just wanted to mention Fortnite
That
stuff.
Fortnite Supersonic figure, I army build him because he looks great in the Cobra ranks.
I think the Fortnite figures are fantastic. Their
I think
construction's well
Jazzware should
done.
take over 1/18 scale GI Joe.
Yeah, they make a great figure. I was going to
Mhm.
say Hiya Toys went and made all these GI Joe figures. Um, Joy Toy. If you just
Speaking of
add
which,
Joy Toy to the mix,
yeah,
are
hang on.
just
Oh,
Speaking of Joy Toy,
talking. Yeah, yeah, you're talking another entire just universe of action figures between all the
well, and then
lines that they
Acid
carry.
Rain World, there's a whole
Acid
nother
Rain World
universe
is
as
also
well.
just massive. What is
Uh-oh.
that?
this entire
Oh, just
box,
something I had lying around on one of my Defiants.
this entire box is
Oh
nothing
shit!
but Joy Toy stuff.
Nice.
Under
Nice.
here,
Oh,
there's a Ziploc bag, like that massive freezer bag, just
Mhm.
full of loose figures. Yeah.
dang.
Cool.
Yeah. And you could go nuts with them. And then like Chad even sent me, they just released that they're doing those TMNT things, and that Foot Trooper, the Foot Clan
Mhm.
Trooper, he looks fantastic, man. The
He
Shredder,
looks like a
everything
Techno
looks so
Viper.
good.
Yeah,
There is
I'm
so
gonna probably pick up a squad of them. Yeah.
so damn much you could be doing, and that's not even getting into, like I said, Hasbro. Like I said, the Ghostbuster set
Ooh.
was just a shock to me. Like that they put it out there, it was affordable, and it was really well made. Like they did a
They've
good
been
job.
stepping up
Now,
their packaging game too,
now
big
as
time.
far as 1/18 scale goes from Hasbro,
1/18 scale, yeah. So right?
yeah, their
Mhm.
superhero stuff, I would say, is a little bit of a disappointment. It's kid focused, so but my complaints are not necessarily about the age range for it. It's like just some other choices that they've made where they've reused stuff and they've done like
But the
just
Ghostbusters VHS
yeah,
packaging is a hit. All the Joe Transformer crossover stuff with that slip case that slides out and then that really nice
beautiful.
screened
Yes.
box underneath. They've been killing it with that. And
Yeah.
and then you look at some of the other offerings, it's just like generic rectangle. It's like,
Uh-huh. And Jeff, how you doing, Jeff? Yeah, Jazzwares 118 Joe's, especially if they keep the price at like 12 to 15. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I would definitely be
remember,
down for that.
kids, not that long ago, the Walmart retro, I don't know why they called it retro, but the 4-inch stuff they were doing, those figures were like $11.
Yeah.
They were
Mhm.
not
And I
expensive. The hisses were what, like 25? Yeah.
they were.
Price too
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I
So
think I
there's
picked up
plenty
most of my
out there.
hisses when they went on clearance.
Oh, I was snagging them anywhere I could. Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
plenty out there. There's plenty more coming. 2024 was a huge year. I mean,
Yeah.
I know with the launch of Delta 17 and Strike Force Alpha, and I know Call Sign Longbow kind of did like a sneak peek. They sent out one of their figures,
Mhm.
but I
Those,
wouldn't
yeah.
call them launched in 2024. That's why I didn't include it. I'm gonna wait. I got the Ghost right here. He's a fun character and I love
Oh,
him and
yeah.
everything, but
Mm.
until I get them in hand, I would say based on like the feel and everything with that ghost figure, I think the Call Sign Longbow figures are going to be a hit. I think they're going to
Yeah.
be great, and I'm
Yeah.
going to not have
Well, and
any
that,
issue with them whatsoever.
the overland
But
figure they did for
2025,
Robo Skull.
oh yeah, they also did
Mhm.
the Wolf Trooper and Skeletron, which I've got right
Yeah.
there. So yeah, great figures. 2025, I know as long as Strike Force Alpha comes through, which I'm like begging, I really hope it's coming, and the other one was Operation Recall. I'd love to see those come to fruition, be done
Mhm.
in
That's
2025. I'd
that's
hate
gonna
to,
be a hurdle. Yeah,
yeah.
Legends of the Hidden Force, I think, should be out by
Oh,
2025.
Legends of
yeah,
the Hidden
yeah,
Force
Darren.
as well. I
Yeah,
forgot about them.
yeah, Whiskey
And
Jack. And one
yeah,
thing, backing up, Wolf Trooper, or not Wolf Trooper, Blood Wolf, Bob Breakin.
Mhm.
oh my God. So I forgot. That was a small detail I forgot. And when I opened the package and I saw that
I
figure,
know, I
I
know.
thought they made a mistake. I'm like, did they make a mistake and send me like an exclusive?
I knew that
And then I
one of
looked up.
so
Yeah.
I got the Mark II and the Mark II Special Edition, and I knew that one of the pilots, the head was Bob Breakin, and I couldn't remember which one it was. I even went back through my backer kit stuff, didn't say. So I was like, I hope it's not the special edition because I'm not opening that one. And then just on the fly, on
Yeah.
camera, when I opened it was when I saw it. When I, face to
I'm
face with
kind
Bob
of
Breakin.
bummed though
I didn't
because
open him.
when he was at Joe Fest,
Yeah.
I got to share an elevator ride with him, and we walked all the way down to the convention, and just a wonderful, wonderful man, and just pleasant to be around. But I
Did you
would have
skip the
loved to have
line
something.
with him?
I didn't get anything signed, but I would
No,
have
I asked,
definitely
did you
loved to get
skip
that.
the line with him?
Yeah, I skipped the line this year, yeah, because I went in through the back because I had the I'm with Delta 17
Yeah.
badge. So that's how I snagged this sucker right there, that SAS Panther.
I did hear that when Bob Breakin was doing his Q&A or whatever, that um something happened where the hall swap had kind of, you know,
Yes, that was
spilled out
terrible.
into that room and people couldn't hear him and there was a bunch of
Well, that
hullabaloo.
that room that they use for their
Panels.
you know their panels is I get the convenience because you just go right up those stairs or a quick elevator trip right up into that room so you can
Mhm.
watch the convention, get right back to it. But there's like they should do the swap somewhere else then. Because as you're
Hmm.
walking back to your room, which you do a bunch of times, you pass these empty
Well, they're moving the
exhibition halls.
panels, so
Yeah, the panels.
it's
You
easier to move the
pass them.
panels, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And that lobby swap, because I took part in it last year. So, you got to get there super early or you don't get a spot. I got a table right at the entrance of it. And unfortunately, yeah, Bob's trying to do his thing. It was like pizza with Bob. And no one could hear because the lobby swap's going on. And I think that
No.
was just an oversight. And it's just like, the show has grown. So why not just go and get the rooms that, these
Hmm.
panels deserve? You know what I mean? So.
Nobody else is using
Uh,
anything in that freaking convention center during that weekend.
no, not at the time. They were always empty. So I was just like, why?
Yeah, it's
Why?
stupid. So whatever.
That was a bad decision. And they should feel bad about it. And they should correct that because if Bob does ever come back, hopefully he comes back. I'd love to see him again. I didn't open my figure. Did you open your Bob? You opened your.
I
Nope.
opened
I kept
mine.
them on the cart.
No, he's
Uh,
carded
yeah,
over there on the shelf.
yeah. And that's they're the same as the Marauders figures, right? The Skeletron, or are they Fresh Monkey? No, they're Marauders figures, right?
Yeah, they're Marauders. Marauders, man. Yeah, how they
Yeah.
bring some of that new like that thigh swivel they had in there to their regular Marauders line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And I have a feeling they probably will. Because
These guys have thigh swivel.
they do.
No.
so I
Sure
may
do.
pick up I don't know if they still have the 4-inch Jungle Wolf Trooper or the Wolf Trooper for sale, or maybe I'll pick up a second one and open it.
I got all of my stuff except for two things. My wolf pack, which is the 5-pack of the wolf troopers, that hasn't come yet. I don't think those, because remember, they're doing everything in phases.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
and then the actual Skeletron figure itself. Like
See, I got
those.
my Wolf Troopers. I got that pack.
Oh. Okay.
I know it.
You got your
Joe Fest
5-pack of wolf?
Yeah, I got because I ordered the 5-pack and then like a couple of extras.
Oh.
I did not. I haven't gotten my wolf pack yet.
So now the Skeletron itself, I think is still like I think they had some production delays on it because I know at Joe Fest they just had like a prototype and a paint master.
Yeah.
So
You could buy the 4-inch Red Shadows Wolf Trooper too.
oh, excellent.
But it's not the Bob. He's just got the
No.
Mhm.
Bob is Blood Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. And the logo color is different. On the Bob, it's red.
Oh, okay. So you can get I see.
Yeah.
So you could buy. So I'll buy that one and open it, the 4-inch, and use that as my pilot, and then keep the other guy carded. I don't know. I would, if I could meet him and get him to sign it, I'd like to have that. It just looks really good.
Yeah. Now I think the helmets are different
Spad,
too.
no expense. Bob Regan does kind of resemble the Jurassic Park guy, John
yeah.
Hammond. Spad, no expense. The packaging, everything.
Richard.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The actor. Richard
Oh, yeah.
Attenborough, I believe, right?
Attenborough, yes, you're right. Yes.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, did any of you guys get some of the Hammond collection stuff that came out this year?
I did get the wannabe Vamp Mark III vehicle. I got several of those.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the better toy lines. Just it's been going constantly. It's Target exclusive, which I think limits it, but they've been putting out figures, vehicles, playset, sort of playsets, but the dinosaurs as well. For at least the last 5 to 7 years, and they're constantly selling. I know, like, I'll pick them up when they hit clearance, but that's been going just as far.
Kids love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my my Skeledrons. They're crawling out all over the place. And in my mind, they're just constantly getting into stuff. And I've seen some really cool customs with the Marauders figures because you could pop that head off and use it.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
good.
Well,
Looks
and
good.
Because
then
they
some of
have
the Marauder
legit
weapons.
interchangeable ball joints.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty smart. That was great. V. Conley, Lachey, what's happening, man?
Mhm.
Merry Christmas.
Good dude.
Baking some cookies with Sam. Just want to send some love to my fellowship with the dollars. Oh, thank you, man. You're the best. You're the best.
Yeah.
And so, Bob, you got any other faves of the year that you want to talk about, or anything you're looking forward to?
No. There's some stuff I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna obviously, like hopefully Call Sign Longbow comes out this year. We've
Hmm.
been waiting on that for a little while, and Operation Recall. Um, hopefully that next wave of Eagle Force figures comes out this year, or at least goes up for pre-order. Because some of those look really sharp.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
You
some more
bring up
Hammy
a
collection.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Jurassic Park stuff I think is underrated,
Hmm.
but you bring up a good point though, is like some of these like Kickstarters. I would love to see all like the current Kickstarters like fulfilled before I back another one. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I know that Darren had put out that other one for
Oh, the chaos.
the the chaos, the horror figures, and I loved it. I love the
Hmm.
ideas. They all look great, but I kind of would love to see all of these things. And if they're going to do Kickstarters, I would say keep it to like under 12 figures, 12 or under. Maybe even just do a six at a
Yeah.
time. Do a
That's what
wave.
screwed
Hmm.
Marauders. Yeah.
Do small waves that because
Are a little more
I
affordable to
know
go all in on.
yeah. Yeah, just I would like to get in on that. I could get in on something that's like 6 or 12 figures that has a quicker turnaround. I really don't want to do these long haul projects anymore. I'm just kind of burnt out on them maybe. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
No,
that
I
so
can
many
understand
people
that.
are doing that and so many people are taking that their creativity and they're making stuff that otherwise we would never see from the major companies like
Right.
and Chad specifically, you mentioned this in your Skeletron, your RoboSkull video when you were talking about some of the other things coming from Skeletron because um, they're not ending with just this. Their whole idea wasn't to just do this. And
Yeah.
I feel that the Palatoy Action Force is an untapped market that, I
Yeah.
think when
You
you
don't
look at the
snatch up Corey
ATC,
from Hasbro if you're not going to do anything else. Like this stuff was already in the pipe before they snatched up Corey.
yeah,
You know,
the
like
Shadow Track you
my
mentioned,
my dollar's on the Shadow Track. It has been
yeah,
for so long because when
which
you talk to them face to face and you start talking about a Shadow Track, and then that like piss poor poker face is like, I'm not making eye contact.
hey, I would love it. I would eat it all up, and I just think it's like these guys know the fans make the best work. They're doing the best work. The fans are
Yep.
making the best stuff.
Mhm.
Um, they these big companies they need to listen, man, because like you know these are hits. This stuff is just so. To me, it was the final frontier. When I found out about Palatoy Action Force, and I'm not saying I wouldn't take more, but like the ATC was one that when I saw a video on that, I was like, oh, I'd love to have one of those. That's something I thought I would never get my entire life. And when the opportunity came, I mean, I was sweating when I was like clicking to buy it now. And I was like looking over the pictures again because I'm like, am I getting scammed? This is a cardboard box only.
Yeah.
Like those scams because the price was so good. You think you're like, oh, you just paid for the box or the
Yeah.
instructions or one part, the stickers to go on this thing, and I'm going, this can't be true.
So
But
I
I
I
also didn't
will
want to wait,
say, honorable mention, I did secure a Triad fighter from George Aiken.
Ooh,
It's somewhere over the Atlantic or on the Atlantic,
okay.
but it's on
Well,
its
George
way.
Aiken
So my
probably
honorable
had
mention of 2024, like awesome scores, is that complete Triad fighter. But yeah,
that. That's going to be fun. I'd like to see that.
standing by.
And I would say, as far as Palatoy stuff, I can't
Mhm.
wait to see what you're going to do with that. The headquarters, the Z Force headquarters, because that's another one
Yeah.
where yeah, you're working on, right? And I want to see that. That's something for the future.
You know,
Did they do a version of the tactical battle platform? I know I've asked this question before for Palatoy. Did they
no,
like do any
it was
enhancement to it?
GI Joe International Heroes by then.
So it was just kind of the same.
It was GI Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just G.I.
Yeah.
Joe. Just
There was no like. Could you imagine like an SAS battle platform? Man, I would love to make.
yes,
Now I got to
yeah.
do that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the potential's there, and then I've even seen there's other people like on Instagram, um, and I wish I had more time for the show because I was going to say not only in the 1/18 scale, like our fans doing great work, there are great companies like Lone Wolf Toys, right?
Yep.
They're making all the wicked, awesome, things. Level 7, I think, is doing ones where you get like an
Oh
all-white
yeah.
Batman or Wolverine. Um, there's a guy, Vivid Motion. He's doing like Star Wars figures, custom 5 POA Star Wars figures that you could 3D print, but he gives away the files. He does like 30 days of Christmas, and they're all like Christmas themed ones. Doing a wonderful job there. That's great. Chad, I think you posted one the other day too, where one of these guys was putting out I think I saw it on your story, but what figure was it? I can't remember. It was just a awesome custom. I mean, LaCroix, he's just doing, I mean, his stuff is just mind blowing. Obviously, I can't, afford
Are you
all of
talking
them.
about the Snake Eyes on the bench with his duffel bag? That one?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Oh,
what's his name? Raph,
I've got
right?
it
It's
right
like
here.
Raphael or something. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
And it's
because
just like,
this is something I was gonna share this Wednesday on Christmas Day when I stream. But yeah, I'll pull
mhm.
it up.
But
Yeah.
like you see something like that, and you're like, these are the guys, like these are the ones that I want to back. And
You know what? Watch this. Watch this. That
ooh,
is.
ooh, ooh,
Check
I'm
this.
watching.
Yeah, just watch. Just watch. Look. No, 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 no. Oh, and then it got in front of my screen. It's very technical, people. Can you share that? Boom, right? So
mhm.
Yep.
Snake Eyes, Sergeant Classified coming home from Vietnam. Look at that.
Yeah, come on.
Mm.
That's badass.
Look at that.
And obviously these kits you have to paint them. So you could get someone to paint them, like
Yeah,
Mikey Kukovic, right? He'll paint stuff. He'll do commissions for you.
sure.
Um,
But I
or you
mean,
could give it your
like
best
who
shot.
who's gonna make this? Independent creators are like they're lapping everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's so
there
it's
you go.
this is
Mike makes people. That's
Mike
the
Oh
guy.
makes
yeah, I follow
people on
him. Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, MMP Toys, Mike
Yeah,
Redmond. And
and
not only did he do post Vietnam Snake Eyes, does this look familiar? Right, Sparks,
yeah, hmm
boom,
there
and
you
the
go.
freaking console.
Yep.
Yeah,
And he's done. I mean, just all kinds of great stuff.
yeah,
Um, who's it?
and it
Also,
even has
there's
the
one.
Yeah.
old
It's
school
like
visor. You know,
Didn't he also do those what's the name of that episode? Worlds Without End? Like
yes,
he
like
did
skeletal
with
skeleton.
the
Yeah,
versions. Yeah.
skeletal faces.
I
They're
shared
yeah.
that a
When are we
while
gonna
ago
get
too.
them?
Yeah,
Those are
skeletal
great.
Steeler is up.
Yeah, those are great. Scuba, how's it
Hey,
going?
What's
How was
up,
your
Scuba? Hope you're feeling better.
yeah? So the Empire Strips Back or whatever you went to go see? That's awesome. Scuba, right? You saw that show?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the burlesque show you went to go see? That's funny. I saw that on
I want to go.
yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, that was there are so many people out there though. If you follow any of us on Instagram, I'm always sharing that stuff. I think the Kraken Wakes, I think, is one. He's working on like a
Yes.
Red Shadows
Yeah.
little mini base, which is like
Did you see my burn?
no, I
Right.
didn't see it.
I shared, yeah, his Red Shadows
Yeah.
bunker, and then I said, like, see, fans do the best work, and then I said it's not a freaking Cobra modular outhouse.
mm.
Oh, because yeah, the little half
Yeah.
outhouse thing. I got you. Yeah,
Mhm.
but those are great, man. Those are fantastic, and that's like exactly what I'd love to see. And if you look like just what I'm looking forward to next year is, yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming. But You could also, let me see here.
We're reaching the while you're doing that, we're reaching the point
Yeah.
where, you know, independent creators, independent toy lines, they're just lapping. They're lapping everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I'm here for it. So yeah.
Oh, I would love to, let's see here.
Now, I would love for it to get to the point where all these indie guys are actually getting their stuff in like brick and mortar stores. We just to see them on the peg, I think would be really cool.
I
Yeah.
know there's one independent toy company that has been at least mentioned today that has already been having conversations with Walmart.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, very
care
nice.
to share
Nope.
or
Nope.
okay?
Can't.
All right,
Can't.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
So I
No, I
would
get it.
love to see something like this from the likes of Star Wars or even with the Marvel stuff, where these are like 3.5-inch figures with a little mini playset for $26 or something.
Well,
Um, I would love this was like a pallet display I saw that at Walmart, and I would just love to see something like that. You get two figures and a little bunker or something like that, or they can make that stuff. It would be great. That would
mhm.
work with you know just about everything. But when I saw this, I was like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
it's not really a
Absolutely.
matter of them not being able to make these things. I liked Chad. I forgot to cover the nanomite attack on
Yeah,
Paris
on
playset.
Paris playset.
Yeah,
You
but this
just like
thing, I mean,
take a lighter and melt some of it or something. I don't know.
yeah,
Whatever.
even
But
though, but
you
that's great.
you bring up a
I would
great
love that.
point with that because I just did a well, I'm working on my members video for this Thursday, and you remember stuff like this, right? Now,
Yep.
granted, this was supposed to be the total action bunker for
Yeah.
95 Battle Corps Rangers that didn't happen, but
Uh-huh.
you know, they can still make little mini play sets or battlefield accessories and things like that. Like even in a 1/12 scale, this wouldn't be very expensive.
Yep.
It's just this whole disdain at the massive corporate level for any kind of playset or diorama, unless it's like a stupid like Tanta V4, like you get one wall of a hallway. It just
And I don't get it.
it
Yeah,
drives me
this has a
nuts. Yeah.
zip line. This has everything. This reminds me of like the was it Action Man or GI Joe training ground where it came with like the
Oh
the
yeah.
the
Mhm.
tower and the zip line, like just
Action
like
Man,
real
yeah.
12-inch stuff. And it has everything. It has an elevator, a working elevator. Now it's way undersized for the size of the figures there, but look at it. This is all like it's just great stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I know that my taste in toys are different than other people's, but I'll show you one other thing that I just picked up that I think is going to be a lot of fun. um where is he? This guy right here, this company, Schleich or
Oh,
Schleich.
yeah.
Schleich.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was doing a video that I've been working on before I took my hiatus and everything, and it was kind of it was like how we played when we were kids, and that was oh, I used to just make parachutes for my GI Joe figures and throw them out my window. So I
Mhm.
made a couple parachutes, but then I saw this one on Amazon, and look at this. I mean, just for fun, it's a 5 POA figure. Comes with a little dinosaur and a working parachute. How much fun is that? This thing was like under 10
Reminds me
bucks. Uh,
of those old adventure people, parachute guys.
Yeah.
yeah,
I have one of
but
those Schleich vehicles, and it's like a whole side folds down. There's like a command center in there and stuff. It's good
mhm,
stuff, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
I just love to see kids. I got two grandsons, and I'd like to see them like out there, throwing these things in the yard, or buy some toys that they can do that with, or cool RC cars. I got them for Christmas. I'm actually psyched. They're about the size of a Stomper. Do you remember Stompers
Yeah.
from? But it's a full function RC car. It's a little monster truck. It's about that big. It's like 1/43rd scale or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like a stomper. I can't wait till Christmas morning. I'm going to be probably playing with it more than they they are. But we're going outside. We're going to break up some sticks and make a little obstacle for them to go over. and have a good time. But
That's what everybody did with stompers, right? Throw down rocks,
yeah,
throw down sticks, and
just just try to get them to go over stuff. So I would love to do that, and I'd love to see more play sets and vehicles that are not, they did the N1 Starfighter, but they did it for $120. Can we just do it for, a figure cost, let's just say $15, a vehicle's 20 or $30, keep it
Mm.
reasonable because that's the pricing format when you go and you look down the aisles for your Imaginext or your like I don't think toys like the toys we played with, which were like action figures, vehicles, and play sets, have transformed. Now they're Imaginext, and
yep.
it's for 4 to 7 instead of like our age where it was like 8. It was like more like 6 to 12, I guess. When we were kids, like 12 was like the height of that where you were getting out of toys. But now it's much lower. Like it's like pre-K to 7, and then kids are out of toys. They're playing with tablets
Yeah.
or video games.
The whole
But they're making
concept of
plenty.
sorry.
No, they're making a lot of stuff. That
Yeah.
whole aisle is full.
Yeah.
And Imaginext has, DC, Jurassic Park, all these licenses, and then there's the, rescue pups or whatever they're called, and all that stuff.
Paw Patrol and all that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Paw Patrol and all that stuff. And they have big vehicles with tons of features, those giant play
Yeah.
sets with buttons and things that go flying out and all that stuff. So it's like it's it's not that they're not making it, they're just not making toys for us anymore. They're
No,
making it
the
for
the
the,
the whole concept of figures as loss leaders and all of your world building elements being the commodity, it still exists. That model is
yeah.
still there. There's just when I try to be very measured and not just crapping on Hasbro, but
Hmm.
they know that same size mold, upscale the dolly, make less, charge more, same profit, less
Yeah.
effort. It's all about maximize profit, minimize effort. Like they could do what, Imaginext and all these other companies are doing. They could still do it. They could do it in numerous scales for numerous IPs, but why? If they don't have to, their whole
Well,
thing
that's the
is
thing.
we sold out. That's it. They just tell their bosses that wave sold out, so they keep their jobs, and the bosses it's like the bosses don't ask, okay, but how many units did you move? All they want to hear is we sold out. It's all about hype, anticipation. That's it. That's it.
Goji
They,
Trent
they
says,
spend half a
feel
billion
free to
dollars.
crap on Hasbro.
Well, I'm going. They spent $500 million on the IP for Star Wars. So Lucasfilm, who's driving their own IP into oblivion, can turn around and tell Hasbro, well, you got to make figures of Rose Tico, Admiral Holdo, all these characters that were cut out of movies, and they don't sell. They're peg warmers, and they're spending so much time and effort to make Star Wars toys. They got the 5 POA retro, they got the modern vintage collection, and they got Black Series. Well, they could do with their own IP, G.I. Joe, which saved their company 3 times from going bankrupt. They could do O-Ring, modern construction, 4-inch, and it's stupid classified.
Yeah.
They could do that with Joe, but they don't have to make back $500 million on Joe. They just pull it out of the closet, abuse it a little bit, and then throw it back in the closet for 5 years, which they're going to do soon. That
Definitely the
is
point
coming.
I was making, like
Yeah.
with the play sets. It's not like that they can't do these things, or when people say like they can't do
can.
them, there's just no market.
They can.
I go to the store and I see with my eyes examples of them being able to do that. The Star Wars that they make them in retro, TVC, and Black Series, like argue they could do that with G.I. Joe. They could do that with Marvel. They could do that with all of their scales. They could make the play sets.
Well, that's why they started making
For anyone
4-inch Marvel stuff again, because people burn out. I know that there's like die-hard Legends, Marvel Legends supporters and customers,
yeah,
but people just burn out on stuff. It just happens.
they do. And, sometimes it's not necessarily a matter of people weren't buying them. it's like if you weren't making them, then of
Yeah.
course people weren't buying them. So which one came first? People
Yeah.
stopped
Be right back.
buying them, or people, you stop making them, so then people stop buying them. How do you know that kids wouldn't keep playing with action figures from 7 to 12 if they didn't have, if they had everything, if they had the, you know what I mean? Like, would they keep going if those things were there?
Well, and
But
if they were affordable, I know when I was a
sure,
kid, I wouldn't
sure.
dreamed of paying $15 or $17 or $20
Well,
for an action
especially
figure.
too, yeah, if you want to have a good playing experience, you're going to need more. And when you compare that to
Hmm.
a video game that you could pick up for um, a lot less money that offers a lot more value, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're going to go with that.
It's
So
it's
anyway,
just it's the corporate
yeah,
culture everywhere you look. Like, try to play the new Call of Duty, and it's, this is broken, and this is glitchy, and that's all messed up. But the online store works, you know.
yeah,
But I can
yeah,
go bust out Russian Attack for the NES, and that game works just fine. So
yeah. Russian
yeah,
attack, nice. So yeah, I mean, what I'm looking forward to in 2025 would be, probably supporting more indie places, clearing up all of those Kickstarters and just getting all of that just
yeah.
settled. And then I can make decisions for the future. And, personally for me would just be more community stuff where, we share projects and we do these things and we show each other love and have fun doing it because that's what it's all about. Those are things that make me feel the best about it. And with that, that's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? You good? All right.
No,
I
I'll
think
I'll
that.
I'll, I'll wait. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. One thing I'd like to
Yeah.
see more of is more GI Joe product from Mega, the little building block brand, because that Sky
Okay. Yeah.
Striker
You
and
digging those?
his tank set
I see
were
you
like
got some
awesome.
sets up there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. They're
And
neat.
that's
It's probably not my cup of tea, but yeah, if you're into
Right.
the
It's not.
building
I get
blocks,
it. It's not
I'd say they're a
118,
good product.
but it's
Yeah.
also good for like if you want to world build because the blocks are compatible with Lego and some of
Hmm.
those other off brands, or we call them knockoffs, and so you can like build out your
Yeah.
world, and it's not
So
as huge.
someone mentioned the Cobb Vanth that was
Oh yeah,
25 that, I was able to get for $12 after,
it
4 months.
was the same thing with the
Yeah.
Black Series Cobb Vanth. They made him a deluxe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did they make them really expensive and then
Well,
come
yeah, because you
down? But
space it
yeah,
out,
anyway, I
perceived
would just,
value, right? Sorry to interrupt.
mm,
yeah, no, I would love to see things just come out like at a normal value and we could just buy them without having to go around wait for it to hit clearance and then buy it cycle, it's just,
right.
but go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that and besides the other stuff we'd mentioned, that was like kind of a off 118
Yeah,
line. I
yeah.
said it's.
No, they're definitely cool. Like I said, if you're into that whole thing with like Lego and then the compatible sets, it's just
Mhm.
expanding your world building. You could do massive
Oh yeah.
world building with the Lego scale. Fantastic stuff. Yeah.
Well, and since
Um,
it's smaller, it doesn't take as much space for displaying, so
mhm.
that helps if you're limited on space.
Yeah. Personally, Lego sets give me anxiety. Like those built to rule sets we did, Chad, earlier in the year, which I had a lot of fun doing. They sit on my shelf, and every time I touch them, though, I'm waiting for something to fall off, and I'm just like,
I still haven't built my
like,
armadillos yet.
oh, they're great. Yeah, it's such a great
Because I
way to
just
sour.
did both versions of the Forest Fox, right? Because I'm that guy. I buy two of
Yeah.
all of them because I build both modes. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm working on.
Uh-huh.
I haven't put the play sets together either.
But yeah, I go to look, and I'm like, whoa, I go to move them. I feel, I just they give me anxiety. I don't know if people do like do people ever glue those together? Like is that
Yep.
Some
Oh yeah.
people do, yeah. Now I will
like if you
say
super glue the Lego together? You're very
yeah,
confident if you build it that way.
yeah.
But
Now, I will say the parts on the His tank and the Sky Striker are solid. They're great connection, not loose or fiddly. So
The
yeah,
biggest
I'm
thing
Bjorn
confident.
with the
calls it
BTR
clutch.
stuff is it's
Yeah.
not the actual vehicle itself. It's once you start putting all the crap, like all the guns and the
That's the
this
stuff that
and like
fall.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
breakaway block, and like you go to make the action and it just falls off. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to
Yeah,
do
there you
that.
go.
But okay, yeah.
There's Bjorn with the clutch. He's always talking about the block sets with their clutch. That's
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess
that's a
how it holds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
So yeah, what's up, Johnny? So
Mhm.
for
what's up, Josh?
2025, look to see, this is going to be vague, but look to see the Transformer Joe crossover, not so much offerings too, especially that Prime Mobat's coming, but look to see a lot of those announcements and leaks from TF World 2005. Those are going to start exploding pretty big here soon. And
Do you think,
what?
on that note with the TF stuff, the movie coming out is going to disrupt that line? Because
Here's
I
the
kind of
thing,
that's my
that
fear.
movie is in limbo.
Oh, okay.
So it had traction. They had a writer. There was that announcement of Hemsworth, but then Hemsworth turned around and said, if I'm in that movie, I don't know anything about it. Like, he's denying it. So Hemsworth is now denying that he's a part of that movie. The writer turned around and said, I'm having a hard time kind of figuring, like the Luke Skywalker problem with The Force Awakens. Anytime you put Luke in there, it, you know,
Yeah.
outshines anybody else. So the writer was having problems, and then Stephen Capel Jr. and Lorenzo Di Bonaventura had that weird falling out where Di Bonaventura said some, comments to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that whole thing's that's a dumpster fire.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to cut you off. It was just when you were
Yeah,
saying it. I
yeah. So
was,
the movie, you know how it
good.
is. It's hard out in them streets for us 118 scale guys, right?
Yeah.
So if something's happening that's generating news, i.e., content for you, like you're going to keep track of it. And
Mhm.
I stayed on top of that crossover and movie stuff until it just fizzled its smoke now.
Mm.
I'm
Um,
glad. I'd rather see that than garbage come out.
but again, they've had numerous opportunities. Maybe
Yeah.
now with what's going on with the Energon universe, maybe
Mhm.
because those books are solid. There's one more project that's coming next year. I mean, whatever. I try to not swear on your channel because you know me and the potty
No,
mouth.
it's all right.
Yeah. Okay, so I did the live stream with I'll make this as quick as possible. I did the live stream
Yeah.
with Mikey, and then Dan Klingensmith jumped in about Unproduced Real American Hero Part
Which I
3,
saw. Yes.
going over Dan's books. We spent a decent chunk of that talking about Guy Cassaday's unproduced Cobra Island playset. Got a lot of traction, a lot of questions, a lot of this. And I'm like, well, I'm going to turn that into a dedicated video because, as you guys know, there's some people that watch only streams, some people that watch only videos. Sometimes you get cross pollination with those really supportive subscribers, the ones that are really truly active subscribers. Made the
The
video.
wills, if you will.
Yes, the wills. The
'Cause I watch
video
it.
freaking exploded. Next thing I know, I'm having a conversation with a guy who, he's a creator. Actually, it's two separate guys. I don't want to name them yet because you know how things go. But anyway, I'm working with two creators who have both done amazing stuff that's out there on Facebook and Instagram for everybody to see. If I said these two specific projects, everyone would know who they are.
Mhm.
Start talking with these two guys about what are the possibilities. Then I get a comment from Guy Cassaday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to Hail Mary this guy, right? So I Hail
Yeah.
Mary Guy Cassaday, and I said, hey, this is what I'd like to do. I would like to fund this getting made. I'm commissioning those guys to make the files for the Cobra Island playset for anybody to. If I'm commissioning it, I'm going to give them away for free. And everybody's on board. I was talking to Guy Cassaday, and I said, the goal is to faithfully recreate your vision of your Cobra Island playset. so that it can be made in physical form. However, there's gaps. So like you never actually drew what the top of the mountain would look like, which is the helipad when it's closed. So do you want input on this? Like if you want to give us input, we'll take it. Other than that, we're going to get like a 75% solution, and then we're just going to guess the other 25%. And he's like, no, I'm on board. So I got Guy Cassidy on board. I got 2 designers on board.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
I know that it might be horrible, but
hey, who knows, man?
Shot,
That's the thing, though. It all starts with an idea. You know, like this project started as an idea with some guys.
Yeah, it started as a conversation.
You know yeah, and just like this, and that's a really great cause, because that is something that we will never see, or if we did see it from Hasbro, it would be just soul sucking. The leeches are out, you know, the blood sucking lawyers, they get involved, they, you know, just ruin everything. This would be something that's true. The fans making the best work. And Chad, like, you've spoken to that.
You guys know me, right? It's just like I wanted a 1/18 scale mask rhino, bam, I made one. I want this, boom, I make it. If I don't have the skills, then I get with other people. You know, hey, like I'd like to make this. Me and Suka from the Toxic Toy Depot, Suka Prime, who makes like a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah.
We're working on another smaller unproduced Joe playset that I talked about on one of those streams. You probably figure it out. But Suka and I are working on that. But something big like Cobra Island, you know, I need somebody who probably, you know, made a classified scale USS
flag.
What
was the footprint on that? Was like 4 feet or
so it's 24 inches when it's closed, and you're talking the exact diameter.
Open it.
Right, I'm getting there. You closed, the diameter is the same as the Terradrome, 24 inches. When you open all of the petals, it's 6 feet.
Yeah,
because it's 5 petals that unfold. One of them
it's going multiple directions.
Yeah.
So
it literally looks like this. Yeah. So
cool.
I'm totally. I've been sourcing a bunch of stuff. I talked with Carson. He's getting me hooked up with Chris from Joe Declassified, because he's got a bunch of images, but he watermarked them. And then when I reached out to Guy said, I have everything. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
and you know, that's one of the things that, Chad, I got to commend you on, is sometimes you just got to ask. And you know, I probably would just sit there and just, you know, kind of just not, but the way you speak for the community is a pretty, you know, I know you don't do much for the toy community, or, you know, you really don't do much at all.
What have you done to further the hobby today, Will?
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, I've just heard rumors that you don't do much, but
it's true. Yeah, I don't do
shit. It's good. I'm really happy. That's a really fun project, and something that, you know, I would be way into.
Well, it wouldn't be a back thing. So you know, talking with the guys that I've been talking with, because they're like, well, if you commission it, you know, they're your files, you can sell them. And I was like, yeah, but if I already paid you for it, then I can just here.
Yeah.
I don't want people's money. You know, like I'm just, you know. Anyway, I'm done with that.
Well,
it might turn into herding cats.
Sometimes doing that for that reason may kind of just taint the project overall too. So if it's just something you're doing out of love for the hobby and, you know, for the project, then
I got to answer Zayma. No, not for sale, dude. I want to make one for me. Like I want it. I want that playset. But if I'm going to commission dudes to make the files that I already paid for them, I'm just going to give them away.
I had some guy in the G.I. Joe groups just talking about playsets. He did a Cobra Castle playset. He put it out for free like a year and a half ago. I have all the files. I've just never attempted to print it. Yeah. Definitely something I should do this year, but it looks awesome.
I want to see more creators do more labor of love stuff like that. Like do the Silent Castle, do the Sunbow accurate freaking facade for at least the 83 headquarters, so you can just push it up against it, you know? Or something like. Do some rad
Yep.
stuff. Let's see some cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
STL.
What he was talking about was, commissioning someone to design it because he wants one, and then just, releasing those files out for free. Yeah.
I can't design in CAD, right? CAD's where you
Yeah.
design it, and then you turn those designs into STL files so people can print them.
Hmm.
Oh,
I can't do that, right? Like I'm a agreeable additive subtractive kind of customizer. 3D printing,
yeah.
creating the files is
Yes.
beyond me. Like I'm an infantry man. I'm dumb, you know.
So, I mean, I showed it on your stream, but that's why I mocked up my little playset carry case thing in foam and
Yeah.
in cardboard. Before I even tried to like 3D model it, I built one out of scraps of cardboard laying around because I just need to see it in the real world, even if it's sloppy and
Mhm.
messy and like that's just the way I work too. I definitely understand it. Like I just want to see a physical version of it,
Yeah.
then like play with it, just like screw around with it and see wait a second. Chad hates
World Made
toys.
of Cardboard said, rumor has it Chad hates G.I. Joe. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I would just say, like, I was going to talk about that too, because, I've been 3D printing. It's not something I get to do as much as I want. And I would love to do way more of it in 2025. But some of those new printers, if you look at some of those Bamboo Labs 3D printers, especially like the X1, they're like under $300. And I just know that that's not in the budget for everyone, but I a lot of us spend way more than that on toys every year. And after you've printed yourself like, you
Yeah.
know, one cool thing or, some bits to fix some old vehicles and whatnot, it pays for itself.
Oh,
You'd
yeah.
really in no time.
Be
But
like, oh,
those
Yeah,
are really
I'm
kind of
missing a gun for this. Yeah.
yeah, they're
There it
they're
is.
kind of plug and play. They're
Mhm.
really good. Hey Robert, you're at the hospital with the little one. Hey, just
Oh,
wishing she gets well soon.
Yeah.
Keep breathing. I know
Yeah,
she's
brother.
working on those treatments, and I'd love to, get a report from you that she's home for the holidays. So yeah, we're hoping for that.
Yeah.
And Scott's
yeah, a
holding
buddy
out
of
for a
mine with
4D
a
printer. Me too.
uh, buddy of mine that has a 3D printer, like prints out his own like little GI Joe miniatures for like tabletop wargaming, and it's like hella
Yeah,
fun going over
fantastic,
there and
man.
playing with them and whatnot. Because instead of just having a vehicle, you've got like a squad of like maulers or mobats or
Yeah.
persuaders or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And
Well, and then you get
then
down the rabbit hole and people are like 3D printing helmets. And I'm like, oh, don't get me
Yeah,
started on that because I'll be
I
like,
would
oh,
love to
today I want to
have
print a
one of
Crimson
those.
Guard helmet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one's too small for that, so you have
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
cut it
you
and
got to
everything,
have
and
the
that's like,
big one.
but they sell ones that like literally you could just print a helmet, pull it off the build plate, and pretty much slap it
Yeah,
on your fucking
exactly.
head. Like, that's
Whereas
if
amazing.
you guys
before,
aren't,
people
Uh,
had to print them in sections and then put them
yeah,
together. And
and
sorry,
glue
go ahead.
them together, then sand, and do all this like post processing stuff. Where nowadays it's just getting easier and easier,
Yep.
and the quality they have ones now that are it's multicolor prints, so you could switch. It switches out the colors throughout the thing, and so you just pop the file in there, and the speeds on these things are outrageous. Like I think mine, which is like 4 years old now, prints at a speed of like 40. It's like 40. Whatever I forget. Whatever their unit is. The new ones are like
Yeah,
300.
their
Like
unit of measurement,
yeah,
whatever that metric is.
yeah, whatever their thing is, it's like they're at like 300 is like the average, and mine was like 40, and I'm just saying like I don't know, it's like oh, time to probably retire this one and sell some shit off and get some
You
new
need to
3D
office
printers up
space
in that
that thing
bitch.
out back.
Yeah, it's been good to me,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's great, guys. Well, that's all I got. And like I said, I was just happy to, hang out with you guys, talk about the year and end,
right?
especially since, yes, especially since, some stuff happened in the last couple months that, I don't want to get into, but, they're just pretty bad for me. So it was really nice of you guys to join me. It was really great for everyone
Thanks
to
for having
show
me
up
on.
today and talk. And just want to wish you guys all a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. And I look forward to, spending more time with you guys in the coming year.
Good to
We
see you
will
again, Ron.
talk to you. Yeah, we'll see Bob and Brian later tonight.
Yeah,
Chad, what do you
we'll
got
be there.
going on next?
Uh,
You're doing something tonight now, right?
What's today? Sunday? Yeah,
Sunday.
today's Sunday. No, I'm not doing anything tonight.
We'll see you Wednesday. Oh no, you're doing
Yeah.
Christmas stream.
Yeah. So my video with Frank Coronios, who was one of the vehicle designers on A Real American Hero at Hasbro in the 80s, along with Dan Klingensmith, that drops tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern.
Awesome.
And then Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, so 2 hours early, I'm doing a Christmas stream. Yeah. Because, I'll be hanging out by myself, so might as well.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. So yeah, I don't got much going on. I'll probably see you over there.
Cool.
Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah.
Always. Yep. Don't forget your poll.
All right. So yeah, we'll see you guys tonight. And like I said, if I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Easy, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye.